So if you'd like to go up, we'll just gather on the steps a little bit. But one thing I'd like to reiterate is that the Obama plan puts Medicaid up to 125% of poverty level. Most working families are a little bit above that, and they cannot afford insurance. There is no way they can afford insurance. And if we start cutting Medicaid and Medicare more and more people are going to fall into the gap of having no health care coverage. Peter was talking about, plans for single-payer conference or single-payer health care. There's a lot of stuff out there saying that we really do need an alternative to what's happening in our government. Social Security, I still want to know why in the world it's on the deficit commission's radar except for political moves, and we can't tolerate the 2% of people are going to keep their tax cuts. Thank you very, very much for coming, and I think there was one other person who signed up to talk with me, and he wasn't. Alright. Okay, so I guess we have to stand here for a little bit. This is great. Are they going to come? Well, okay, there was one other person who did sign up to talk and who I emailed. Are they here? The person I emailed?
I put a check on it.
Okay, but someone emailed me about the situation they had.
No, they won't.
I guess the other thing that I think is important to note is that we have a 10% or above unemployment rate in this country. Unemployment insurance is about to expire for millions of people this month and next month. So if you think about what the Deficit Commission is trying to do in the cuts to the most vulnerable, there are going to be millions of more most vulnerable people out there. And a lot of us will probably be among us. So thank you again very, very much for coming. Greg, where are you? Greg. Come up here. And Greg, you can talk about the tax cut better than I can. So if you want to say a little bit more about how that tax cut is really going to hurt the economy rather than help the economy.
Well, actually, I think people have said it pretty well. Over 10 years, they estimate $700 billion will be lost to the tax base as a result of extending the cuts. That's a lot of money that could be going into creating jobs. The fact is that the argument on the right, and even unfortunately with some of our Democratic leadership, is that the wealthy people need these cuts in order to invest in the economy. Of course, investing in the economy today by big multinational corporations means going offshore and exploiting countries where workers are denied a decent wage and benefits and create cheap products, which then our consumers buy here. So essentially, taking the argument of trickle down just has never worked. It's never been realistic, and I think that we need. I should say I just saw a speech by Bernie Sanders, which, if any of you folks have seen it, we need our representatives to have that passion and that outrage. And that, if I get a chance to talk to Senator Wu's assistant, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, or Congressman Wu, rather. I'm going to ask him to watch that speech, and I'm going to ask him to follow in those footsteps and show the outrage. And I think that's why we're here, because we want to express that outrage. That's it. Thanks.
Well, I'm one of those people in the upper tax bracket, and I don't want to be bailed out. I think it's my patriotic duty to pay the taxes that I can. We are all facing tough times, and if we don't care for our fellow man at this point in time, that means lesser of me. So, I volunteer at the food bank, I volunteer at community centers, and I do what I can, and my husband and I are very happy to pay that increase, as they call it. I say it's a decrease right now, but we're willing to pay that upper tax bracket because we know it's going to the right places. We can't do it individually to everybody that needs it, but that's one way we can. Thank you.
Okay, again, thank you very much for coming. We can sit out here a bit with our signs, and kind of show our support for this. In a little while, we'll congregate, go up to Congressman Wu's office. But again, thank you very, very much for coming. I thought I saw Channel 8 out there somewhere, but they're coming.
No, this is an anti-democratic proposition. You need to learn this.
You were there earlier. Did you work from Oklahoma County?
Democrats a little bit, but mostly. Well, that's okay for her, but not for me.
What did you want to share?
I am one of the people affected by the upper class taxation. I create jobs, and I want to pay more taxes, and I want to explain to them that there's no such thing as trickle down. It's gusher up. There are two kinds of economies. There's the paper economy, and there's the productive economy. I'm in the productive economy. These are the Democratic Party.
Trickle down economics really should be called tinkle down economics, and you can figure out why. Tinkle down because we're getting pissed on. So think of it as tinkle down, not trickle down.
We're going to have to cut it off because I told our friendly police people, I promised them we'd keep it for half an hour. I know there are a couple of people like to say something, but to keep the peace, to keep our friendship with the powers that be, so that next time we can come out here if I fail to get a permit. We're going to say thank you very much for coming, and we're going to stay here for a few minutes, and, wave our signs and say hi. What you can do from now on, continue to call Congressman Wu's office, and please tell him to keep supporting, keep supporting what he's been supporting. No cuts in Social Security, no tax breaks for the rich. Thank you.
Right. Is Will going to say something? Will? No?
I've got a prepared presentation. I'm actually good at this, frankly.
You can tell me. I mean, if she doesn't want to...
Yeah. This is why we need to find another organization besides Move On, because it operates in a very clunky, centrifugal, insular way. It doesn't allow every person here to have their say. What they do is they form a little clique and they get their little game going. I attempted to sign up over the internet to give a presentation, but I wasn't allowed to do that. I wanted to tell you people that I am an employer, one of the people who is going to be affected by the tax breaks for the rich, and I don't want it. I am a part of the productive economy. There are two economies in this country. There's the productive economy and there's the paper wealth economy. The productive economy creates jobs, invests in manufacturers. The paper wealth economy invests in Wall Street and financial structures to create a upward spiral of money. The term trickle down does not apply to this economy. It's gusher up. This is what the Bush tax breaks created, and this is what we have to destroy to get that money back down into the productive economy. And things like infrastructure and things like job creation. The Government Accounting Office did a study of the 11 biggest plans for job stimulation in this country. Tax cuts to the rich was number 11. In fact, it did not create jobs.
Right.
The money that they're investing, in addition to just going around and around in circles, spiraling up into Wall Street, it actually funds outsourcing of jobs. Yeah. It funds corporate takeovers that downsize. It does the kinds of things that destroy jobs. This whole lie about why do we want to tax the job creators, that is a myth. Yeah. It never happens. So I need for you people to get very, very serious about this and require the Obamaites to draw the line. Now, I voted for Obama, but I never was exactly fooled for him. People don't realize Obama took more money from the healthcare industry in this campaign than Hillary and McCain combined. Obama is a part of the problem. We all know that the private insurance industry is a leech that just sucks 30 cents off of your healthcare dollar. We all know this. Everybody knows this, and yet we've got a president who is right in bed with the insurance industry. This has to change. And you people are going to have to change it, and pressure is going to have to be put on Obama. Some of us may have to hold our nose and vote for him in 2012, but he's got to show a little courage. He's got to grow a spine, because we've got to stand up to the insurance industry. I, for one, would like to join with the Republicans and repeal mandatory private insurance purchase and subsidies to the insurance industry, because I think the middle class ought to feel a little pain from the insurance industry and grow a brain and support single payer, which is the only way out of the insurance crisis. Thank you for your time.
Single payer.
Please speak up.
My name is Bob Zimmer. I'm a Democrat district leader, one of Congressman Wu's men on the west side in District 27. I want to say two things. Thank you for your support and your efforts in bringing Congressman Wu back to office against a candidate that was endorsed by the Oregonian. Number two, the folks that have said here today that we need to make people aware of what's going on, multiply that about 100 times. I'm a precinct committeeman, and I go trying to talk to people about the issues and about candidates, and I'm damn sick of hearing people saying, I'm not political. You know, well, that's bullshit. We have to go out and talk to people, and at this point we have to say, you damn well better get political if you want to hang on to what you've got and in the future have anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I got that. I could have written an article to study this so long. This is the bailout of effectively the bailout of SAGs, but the bailout of the AIG. Principal and all. Basically pay
And was just coming to get some audio. If anyone would like to do a short interview for this evening's newscast about
I wish everybody was made for the belly.
I'd love to take your comment.
Again, I don't think I had it on record.
Oh.
So. Okay, thanks.